Is Adam Beck Satoshi Nakamoto? This week, the crypto internet broke into pieces with one single question: whether if Adam Beck, famous cypherpunk and cryptographer, is behind the biggest financial invention of our lifetime. In this video, I'm going to share my comments on what I feel about this New York Times article and if they were able to provide substantial evidence or not. Stay tuned until the end. Let me know in the chat section below who you believe is Satoshi and if you think Adam Beck is a good candidate, and subscribe for more daily Bitcoin and cryptocurrency updates. Today, I just wanted to share you the wonderful Turkey, Istanbul. We're currently in the Bosphorus, taking a small walk, and I thought it would be the best location to film a video as such. All right, what does the New York Times article really mention? Well, they go heavily into something called stylometry, where they look at wording that Adam Beck has used in his emails and his conversations, his posts on the Bitcoin forum, and they compare it and contrast it directly with Satoshi Nakamoto emails, Satoshi Nakamoto posts, and wording that Satoshi has used in the Bitcoin white paper. We come to a conclusion that Satoshi was likely British because he uses British English in his writings. Then they've also actually went and dug up and found exact phrases in the white paper, in the Bitcoin forums, in the emails that Satoshi wrote. That's basically almost identical to what Adam Beck has written in other forms of media. It's almost exactly the same over on the Moonshow channel. I showed you some of them, but please feel free to go to the article in the description down below. Check it out, it's free to read, and you will see some of the side-by-side comparisons. It's either paraphrased by a tiny bit or almost exactly the same. Now, I know what you're saying. Is wording choice a real way to conclude if someone is behind Bitcoin or not? Of course it isn't. It's interesting. We also know that Adam Beck is the only individual that has been mentioned in the Bitcoin white paper thanks to his work on Hashcash. Bitcoin uses a lot of Hashcash technology. Adam Beck publicly stated that he is an early Bitcoin contributor. He's done a lot in the cryptocurrency space. So there is some sort of relevance there too to say, hey, Hashcash has been used a lot in Bitcoin's development. A lot of the programming technique that is used in Bitcoin, Adam Beck has a PhD in. So if somebody were to be Satoshi, you look at the wording choice, you look at the stylometry, you look at the history, then Adam Beck is one of the top candidates, if not the top candidate, to be put out and say, hey, this guy could be Satoshi Nakamoto. In the cypherpunk community, there's about 2,000 people from the 90s. You narrow them down into who's British, who uses that wording choice, who programs in that language. And again, Adam Beck is highlighted as the number one figure. There are alibis. I mean, Satoshi is emailed with Adam Beck. So if Satoshi is emailing Adam Beck and Adam Beck is replying back to Satoshi, is he talking to himself? Adam Beck is a Bitcoin treasury company. I feel that if Adam was Satoshi, this could be all alibis just to say, hey, you know what? I mean, this and this happened, so how could I be Nakamoto? I think there's actually a good chance. I think if anyone was to be pinpointed and said, hey, this is Satoshi, I think Adam Beck would be the sensible individual to choose. I asked my friend Tone Vase, who's known him for years, who's interviewed him multiple times, and I said, Tone, what do you think? He said, I don't believe he is, but there is a small chance. And that's where I want to leave it at. Let me know in the chat section what you believe is true. Let me know after reading the article in the description how you feel about it. But I got to tell you, it doesn't matter who Satoshi Nakamoto is anyways. Remember a month and a half ago, everybody was so worried that Jeffrey Epstein was Satoshi, and people were actually going to sell their Bitcoin because Epstein was potentially Satoshi Nakamoto. Well, what happened to that narrative? It's gone, right? Because it was a completely unsensible, it just didn't make any sense whatsoever. It was not logical at all. It was just to add to the FUD. It was to add to the FUD cascade. When Bitcoin was dropping, people find narratives to add to that FUD. Every single month, every single year, a new individual is identified as Satoshi. We had Jack Dorsey, we had Hal Finney, now we have Adam Beck, we had Jeffrey Epstein. It doesn't matter who Satoshi really is, because the only power they have is the Bitcoin they have in their wallets. They can influence price action, but they cannot change Bitcoin because Bitcoin is running a consensus mechanism where if an upgrade is to be made, if a change is to be made, it has to be agreed by a majority. And Satoshi does not have that influence. He can only influence price action if he, she, they, it decide to sell. That's why it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. They gave a gift to this world, an unconfiscatable, decentralized gift, which they have a lot of Bitcoin of. Fine, they founded it. They have 1 out of 21 million Bitcoin. And if they were to sell everything, which I don't see it happening, technically there is enough demand to buy up that 1.1 million or so Bitcoin, which Satoshi Nakamoto is expected to have. And we will never know who Satoshi is, because to confirm it, the founder has to sign a transaction with a Satoshi associated wallet. Nobody wants to be publicly identified as Satoshi, so nobody's going to do it. It will remain a mystery forever. That concludes today's video, guys and girls. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you all on another Bitcoin update very soon. Shout out to the beautiful Bosphorus, and I'll see you in the next video, probably in Dubai. Bye-bye.